Hello, guys. This is Tartar Racing with another Everlasting Summer blind run. I'm sorry for not being able to upload. Things have gotten busy. But I am back here again with Steve. Say hi, Steve.
Hey, hey.
So, we are going to continue our blind run here. So, let's get right to it.
Yes.
Huh? Oh, man. Okay.
Did your mouse disappear from the screen?
Yeah. It's doing that again.
It's doing it again.
Yeah, it's doing it
The
again.
g- the girl waved her hand at me and disappeared through the gates. Oh yeah. It was like 40 to 50 minutes of me reading last time.
At least it's gonna be more equal this time.
Yep. If not more in your favor. It seemed as if to her I was something ordinary. And all this show of the bus and the travels while awake or asleep was troubling only to me. Well, everything here is just the way it is supposed to be. Camp leader, pioneer uniform. What are they doing? A historical reenactment here? I hope I would find Lenin standing atop an armored car in the square. But even even that would not surprise me right now. After standing alone for a while, I headed into the camp. A mere 50 meters ahead, a small one-story house popped onto the left side. The sign near the door said clubs. I was about to come closer when the door suddenly opened and a short girl wearing a pioneer uniform came out. Her pretty face gave me the impression of one suffering for the fate of the whole of mankind with a truly universal sorrow. As soon as she saw me, the girl froze as if frightened. I froze too, considering what was the best to do, to approach her or wait until she showed some initiative. Oh, or maybe run away after all. Although this last option was constantly being suggested one, by myself, only by my self preservation instinct, at least. That's what I'd like to believe. Not the worst human instinct, but far from the most logical. If this instinct played poker against deductibilities, the outcome would have been predetermined. And all those deductive abilities, or at least their semblance, were hinting to me that there was no need to be afraid of this girl. Suddenly, someone jumped out of the nearby bushes. A girl wearing a bright red T-shirt with USSR written on it. That's not what it shows here. Misinformation.
Indeed.
Such a perfect reproduction of the age. She looked quite short from the distance. She was probably younger than both pioneer girls. The one at the gates and this girl at the door of the clubs. At last, I decided to come closer, but the USSR, as I called her in my mind, jumped towards the first girl and started telling us something while wildly waving her arms. The other girl, in turn, seemed confused and lowered her gaze, remaining silent. I would have probably continued to observe their amusing dialogue, but the USSR suddenly pulled something out of her pocket and started waving it in front of the first girl's face. That something turned out to be a grasshopper. The first girl squealed. She must not be too keen on insects, as she instantly rushed off towards a place where Lenin presumably made his speech about the workers and peasants' revolution. That is to say, towards the square. The USSR glanced at me, grinned playfully, and dashed after her. Not a bad start to the day. I have absolutely no clue where I am beside that. There were some kids role-playing here as pioneers. Role-playing, you say. Role-playing.
As opposed to actually being.
Yeah. I keep forgetting how much I despise how oblivious this man is to his entire surroundings.
Yeah, he might be one of the most oblivious in terms of visual novel protagonists.
As far as I can tell, this place is located thousands of kilometers away from my home. It might even be a different reality. And this was indeed a reality. I mean, everything around me seemed so real, if a little embellished, that I was starting to think, in fact, my previous life could have been just a dream. And what am I supposed to do now? Dots. I was picking at the cracked paving stones with my shoe and staring aimlessly at the club's building. Just a few more seconds before I have to come up with a decision. That's when I recalled myself rolling in the grass, weeping. I cringed in disgust. Perhaps it's another instinct when all energy for whimpering and self-pity is knit up the body either goes into hibernation or mobilizes its reserves. Mine seemed to have chosen the second option because out of the blue, I found the determination to figure out what was going on. And in order to do that, I had to act like a man, like a human, to maintain the dignity of a representative of my own world.
It ain't that deep, bro.
It is not that deep. You are not alien. I followed the path to the left on the right side, which stood small cabins, apparently the homes to local pioneers. Actually, they look quite cozy from the outside. Even though I was born in the Soviet Union, I'd never been part of its children's organizations, neither pioneers nor even the younger October children. I, I imagined the daily life of a typical pioneer camp a bit differently. Huge barracks with long rows of metal bunks, wake up call at 6 o'clock, played a siren 1 minute to make your bed, then joining the formation at the drill square. Or wait, could I be confusing it with something else? Yeah, the military. Suddenly, something struck me on the back.
Yeah, he missed the mark.
I staggered but remained on my feet. I turned around and prepared to fight heroically for my life. Heroically, yeah. You have proven to be a hero in all of this so far. Absolutely.
Like the protagonist you are.
I am the protagonist. But all I found was another girl standing before me. My mouth hung open in surprise.
Hey,
Another girl, oh no.
another one. Another one. Pick your jaw up off the ground.
I closed my mouth. The same pioneer uniform, but the way she was wearing it looked, let's say, provocative. Like all the girls I met here before, this one was rather cute, but not overly. But her overly arrogant expression killed any desire to get to know her better.
New here, are you?
Dot.
Fine. See ya.
She threw a threatening glance at me while I walked past. I waited for the pioneer girl to turn the corner. Who knows what else she might have been up to? The most interesting thing was the thing this hostile girl seemed completely normal to me. She did not give off the feeling of some deadly danger. Deadly danger. Uh,
Deadly.
what is this man? What is this man doing? Except maybe the danger of getting punched in the nose. At last, I managed to make it to the square. There were no Lenin on an armored car, although one could easily expect something like that after all this had happened. Instead, however, a monument to a certain comrade towered in the middle of the square. The letters on the pedestal read Genda.
I get that now.
I've not got that. I've never got that in the entire history of me playing this. Explain.
Okay, so Genda is basically Gendo from Evangelion. If you look at the statue closely, he's basically holding up his glasses the same way Gendo from Evangelion does it. I
Oh
think that's the
God.
joke.
Neon Genesis Evangelion reference in my visual novel.
They did their research. They really did.
Must have been some big figure for a party. There were some small benches at the sides. It's quite pleasant here. Where did that girl tell me to go? To the left or to the right? Where you just were. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And why am I going there anyway? Alright, I decided to pretend to be normal. So, to the right. Through a small grove. I came out at a pier. I must have taken a wrong turn.
Hey, wrong way.
I turned towards the voice. The first girl stood before me.
Now, what did I tell you? Take a left at the square, wasn't it?
She had changed from a pioneer uniform into a bikini. And she looks a little sunburnt.
Yep. Oh, I still haven't introduced myself. In a bikini, no less.
Yes, totally normal, average.
My name is Slavia. Actually, my full name's Slaviana, but everyone calls me Slavia. So you can
Wonder
too.
why. Yeah.
Imagine having to deal with that jumble constantly.
My name, yes, your name is funny. I still felt a bit confused, so I could not come up with more meaningful answers.
And what's your name?
I felt like she could see right through me. Skill issue.
Indeed.
Semyon.
Nice to meet you, Semyon. Alright, I'm almost done here. Could you wait here a minute? I'm going to change and we'll go to Olga Dmitrievna together. Agreed?
Agreed.
I cannot believe I said the whole thing.
And also, we shall now go back to just Olga.
Yeah.
After this exchange, she ran off. I sat on the pier and let my feet hang into the water. I was wearing heavy winter boots, but in such weather, there was nothing wrong getting my feet wet. Furthermore, it let me cool myself a little. Looking at the river, I was brainstorming and processing everything that has happened. If this is some kind of conspiracy, it's a weird one, even too friendly at times. No, it really looks more like a random event.
How meta.
Random event. Random, yes. Some entirely incomprehensible random event.
Very meta. Shall we go?
Boing. Slavia was standing beside me, dressed in the pioneer uniform again. Hasn't America had pioneers before?
Not like this. Like,
I know there is. I know not like this, but I know there has been like pioneer scouts is a thing, or at least was at some point.
the closest I can say is Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. Those are most likely the
Basically,
closest examples.
let's go. I've been here for a very short time, but all the people I've met, of all the people I've met, she looks the least suspicious.
Yeah, it's just
Man slandering. The man is slandering Lena.
Lena. Lena, best option. But I don't know if we're even going to go there.
This is completely random. You might end up with fucking Semyon ending.
God, I already got that one.
Or if you want to lead down a specific route, just not basically the thing I always remember about the game is every single time you make choices, so well, character-based choices like for Slavia and such, it will either remove points from some people and add points to others, or just straight up just add points to the character you're playing, you want.
Yeah. Some choices are like intuitive, some are just not. That's the issue here.
The most intuitive one is probably Slavia.
Yeah.
However, this fact is already suspicious itself.
I mean, I tried to attempt getting a Slavia ending, but it turned into a Semyon ending.
We walked to the square. The USSR girl and the girl who hit me on the back were there, chasing each other. Is this some kind of game they're playing?
Ulyana, enough running. I'll tell everything to Olga. Aye, aye, Captain.
I decided not to question Slavia while about it there, while about what was going on about local residents. Better meet with this mysterious Olga first. Sounds like she's the boss here. And while we walked past the rows of almost identical cabins, some of which looked like fat beer barrels, while others looked more like household sheds. Finally, Slavia stopped in front of one smallish one-story cabin. It looked like an artist's painting and faded. The faded paint chipping here and there with age. Was sparkling in the sun. The window shutters are slightly ajar. Were swaying almost unnoticeably in the wind, and huge lilac bushes were growing on the sides. Those commas for just why is those commas are fucking me up. It seemed as if this ramshackle hut was drowning in a storm of purple silk, and the lilacs, like some kind of elemental force, were inexorably destroying the troop leader's house.
What are you standing around for? Let's go.
Slavia snapped me out of daydreaming.
And stop teasing Lena already.
Renna. Sounds like there's someone inside. Indeed, a moment later, the door swung open and Uliana ran out, dashed past with the same mischievous grin. The pigtail girl came out next. I don't think I'd class those as pigtails.
They're more like,
Buns.
yeah, buns. Like, not space buns, but like loose
Oh
buns.
god, space. Oh god, space buns.
I mean, it's a real style, but that's not what it is. No.
More, it's just like small buns.
Yeah, loose buns. Don't let it bother you, Lena.
So her name is Lena. Gotta be thankful it's not Rena, at least. More references I don't get.
Wait, you have these games. Have you played You played Higurashi, right?
No, I have not.
Oh.
I just don't get these references.
Okay, the thing is, Rena is in Higurashi, and Rena is a resident yandere. So that silhouette you saw there was one of her actual silhouettes in the anime slash visual novel itself. She is prone to having a huge ass knife, along with being
Ah, yeah.
yandere. So
Oh god, that makes the bad ending. Oh god. Yeah, yeah, now I see.
I guess that's why they did it.
Yes.
But I don't.
Instead of finishing a sentence, she blushed and quickly headed towards the square. For some reason I felt like turning and following her with my eyes. But Slavi said,
Come.
we entered the cabin. Inside it looked something similar to what I'd imagine. Two beds, a table, couple chairs, a simple carpet on the floor, a wardrobe. Nothing special, but at the same time it felt homelike and cozy. Although this room was almost in the same state of disorder as my own flat. The girl standing near the window appeared to be about 25 years old. Nature had obviously gifted her with a pretty face and good body. Nice one, Semyon.
Typical dude.
Prototypical man. At least one thing can keep you happy in this pandemonium. The locals are beautiful.
There it
Uh,
is.
man doing man things.
There it is. You're finally here. Excellent. My name is Olga. I'm the camp leader.
Nice to meet you. I'm Semyon. I decided to talk as if I wasn't surprised by anything that was going on. She came closer.
We've been expecting you since early morning.
You've been expecting me?
Yes, of course.
And when does the next bus come? Because
And why do you need it?
yeah, right, why would I need it? I guess I shouldn't ask direct questions. The people here may react to them quite unlike how I prefer. I doubt I'd get any answers. No reason, just curious. By the way, where are we exactly? Oh, mailing address, I mean. I wanted to send a letter to my parents to tell them I got here fine. For some reason, I had the desperate idea that if I played along, I would find something out.
Oh, but your parents just called just half an hour ago. They sent their regards to you.
Now that's a surprise. So, can I call them? Because I forgot to tell them something before I left.
No.
Straight up. Exactly like me. No. She gave me this sweet, spontaneous smile. Why not?
We don't have a phone here.
What a wonderful life they must lead.
How do they live?
Then, how could my parents make a call to here?
I've just come back from the district central town. I talked with them there.
Ah, so that's how it is. It is how it is.
It is how it is.
And can I somehow get to the town? Already know the answer to that, sir.
Stop asking. No.
Answering like someone truly short of words. She kept the same smile. Why not?
Because the next bus only comes in a week.
Weekly buses, boys.
Ouch.
I decided not to inquire how the troop leader managed to get there and back. I would get no answer anyway. A weekly bus is surely something.
I mean, hell, at least I have 30-minute buses, so at least that's a little better.
You want to know You want to know how good public transport is in my town?
How?
Main road, 7 minutes every single bus.
Yo, that's so good.
Like 5 buses run the one route, and it's like every 7 minutes there's one.
Damn, that's good.
Yee. All this time, Slavia was standing next to me and seemed to find nothing odd in our conversation.
Oh, we need to find a uniform for you.
I've got an absolutely no desire to put on pioneer shorts or to wear that ridiculous red neckerchief. What are you? Do you not want to look like Fred from Scooby-Doo? However, wearing winter clothes in summer isn't great either. I thought you said it was winter, like last episode.
I mean, hey, Fred's a good-looking character. Nothing wrong with looking like
Fred,
Fred.
Fred is a good looking dude.
Yes.
Right, thank you. I wonder if I'm the only one here who finds it strange that someone wearing a coat and winter boots is in such a...
Rightio. I'll be off then. And you can get yourself acquainted with the camp. Don't forget to come.
Cambridge.
Don't forget to come to dinner in the evening.
Having said that, she walked out of the cabin. No, walked is not the right word. She rushed out. I ended up alone with Slavia.
I must go too. I got things to do. Take a walk. Look around the camp a bit. See you in the evening.
If there's no threat or catch to this, then this reality as embodied by Slavia becomes more and more appealing. But for the first time today, I realised that it was awfully hot here. Although obviously my winter clothes were to blame for that.
Night.
I took off my coat and dropped it onto the bed. My pullover followed. I was now wearing only the shirt. That's much better. All I could do now was follow the advice and go look around the camp. I'll try to find something out in the meantime. Passing a local resident district, I saw a pioneer guy coming my way. Oh, look, time for me to try different voices.
Showtime.
It really was a pioneer guy, not a pioneer girl. Apparently there are men even in this kingdom of Amazons. Sir, please.
Chill.
Insert picture of the fucking seagull with its fucking mouth closed with 2 fingers. Hello, you're new here? You must be Semyon, right? And how do you... everyone knows already. I'm electronic, by the way. The real one. You can call me that. Electronic, the real one. Things were going from crazy to completely insane. It was a robot character appearing in Soviet film and book series. Okay. Alright. Uliana also calls me cheesy. 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 On toast with mushrooms. Jesus Christ. because my last name is uh, how the fuck would I even pronounce that?
I'm gonna just say cheesecov.
Cheesecloth. Hell.
That's the only thing I can read it as. Seriously.
Cheesecloth. I think
I don't
I
see
could read
anything
it as
else.
I could read it as Trezorkov.
I mean, that might be a more appropriate
A
one,
cheesecloth. A
but
cheesecloth just sounds infinitely better
yeah, let's just go with
because
that.
my last name is Cheesecloth. I see. Well, let me show you around. I accepted his offer, as it would have taken much longer to get to know this place alone. Fine, let's go. We ended up at the square again. As if this place was all there is, as if this place was all there is to this camp. English. Lane was sitting on one of the benches reading some book. Electronic confidently approached her. Hello, Lena. Meet the new guy, Semyon. He stared briskly. Started briskly. Hello. Well, you could say we've already met, in a way.
Yes.
She looked away from the book for a moment, glanced at me, then blushed, and went back to reading, as if not noticing that we were still here. Alright, let's go on. I was at first surprised meeting this girl was reduced to a couple of words, but then I thought that it was way better than it was better that way. Electronics vigorous activity did not fit well with Lena's shyness. I was gonna say shininess.
Yeah, I heard he was like, wait, no,
No, English.
no.
And this is me after I've woken up properly.
And this is me after a few hours of work and some other stuff.
Let's go. Next, we came to a building which I instantly identified as the canteen. And this here. I know, this is where you come to consume organic food. Organic food, you say?
Do you realize where you are? Do you?
The word organic food. You're in a pioneer camp.
Bruh.
Yeah, something like that. On the canteen's porch stood the unfriendly girl who hit me on the back earlier. At the sight of her, my joking mood vanished in the blink of an eye. Really, now is not the best time to be pulling this guy's leg, even though he is quite hilarious. First, I need to figure out what's here, or at least where I am. Her over there. That's Elisa. I'm just gonna say Elisa.
Yeah, let's just go with Elisa.
Be careful around her. He spoke in a whisper. Don't ever risk calling her Divcha. She doesn't like that. It's Two-chan. Two-chan thinks very funny.
Boards. Haha. What did you say? What did you call me?
She must have heard him. In the blink of an eye, Alyssa jumped down from the porch and dashed towards us. Alright, you'll manage from here onwards. Electronic took to his heels. Do nothing.
Alright, let's see.
We do nothing because I do not want to fall that man. I don't want more dialogue from him.
Fair enough.
Alyssa, running past me, stopped for a moment and growled.
I'll deal with you later.
Deal with me. What did I do wrong? I added a false guilty smile to my words. But what am I guilty of? Existing, being cringe,
Being dense.
density.
Yes.
There is one thing about as dense as this man.
What is that?
Tungsten cube.
Wow. Damn.
What is there anything wrong with being as dense as a tungsten cube? Maybe.
But if you're
She
being
might-
compared to that, then there's something to be addressed here. Heavily addressed.
You had no point in carried on chasing electronic. Yeah, if anyone can be as dense as that item, doesn't like a 5-inch by 5-inch tungsten cube weigh an absolute way stupid amount?
Yeah, that's why it's like, yeah, this needs to be discussed in detail, in depth.
Dots. Looks like I'll have time to kill alone waiting for dinner. I decided to go east. Kanye East. Kanye East.
Kanye East.
Yep. Where would East be in my world? This is now your world.
This is still your world, bro. The same rules apply.
Same rules. Soon after, I found myself near a football pitch. A game was in full swing there. I guess watching it for a bit wouldn't do any harm. In my childhood and teen years, I was not a bad player myself. Even thought of going professional. But a few injuries in a row killed my desire to risk my health for the sake of uncertain chance in the game.
Fair.
Injuries, the bane of every athlete's existence.
Yep.
Footballers, when a hamstring injury happens, bye-bye to a whole season.
Oh. Oh. Ow.
Yeah. Or when someone purposely puts studs up and runs directly into your kneecap.
Ugh. Ugh. Knee injuries. Ah.
That actually happened,
What?
by the way. Yeah. English football, uh, English football is a weird thing. Basically, what happened? There's a very angry man who used to play football. Well, he was very angry when he played football. It was Roy Keane, one of the most famous Irish players of all time. He had a little rivalry with many players. One of them being the dad of current Man City striker Erling Haaland, Alfie Haaland.
Oh.
This started when Alfie, not realizing an injury was real, thought Roy was faking it. Goes over to him, shouts at him when he's on the ground. He's out for the whole season. Years later, Alfie is playing for Leeds. Keane is playing for Man United. They face each other. Ball is near Alfie. He's going for it. Roy Keane comes in, studs up, kicks the man, stood with the studs directly below the knee.
Oh.
On purpose.
Oh. Oh. God. Oh.
Yes.
Dirty. Oh.
He was sent off, suspended for like 20 games. Then when his autobiography came out, was suspended for an even longer time because he said it was on purpose.
Holy shit. Oh. Yikes.
Yeah.
Ugh. Damn. Oh.
Anyways, football story break over.
Oh,
Kids
man.
of different ages were running around the pitch. I could see a boy about 10, a girl of about 14. A girl. Hey, that's Uliana. Alright, so she plays football. What's so surprising? She seemed a restless one after all. What's so surprising is the tungsten cube in your pocket.
Yep. It's gonna be there for quite a while.
I was standing quite far from the pitch, but she still noticed me.
Hey, you!
Uliana shouted.
Wanna play?
I didn't know how to answer. On one hand, running about for 10 minutes is no big deal. On the other hand, any wrong move in my situation could be a final one. But in my case, my attire wasn't suitable for this weather. If I played in winter boots and warm jeans, I would sweat like a pig. Man isn't used to wearing jeans all the entire year.
Yeah.
I always wear jeans even if it's warm, and my incredibly warm jacket if it's warm.
I only wear jeans because of work. Outside of that, it's either shorts, leggings, or a skirt. One or the two.
I'm always in jeans at this point.
Yeah, because of work, it's always jeans or slacks. One of those two.
And playing barefoot without jeans would simply be unethical.
I mean, shorts are everywhere. You could probably get a pair of shorts.
Unethical. Unethical. I think you mean Oppenheimer.
I mean, if everyone's barefoot, sure. It's like if no one's wearing cleats, it's okay. if nobody is wearing cleats.
Maybe another time, alright? I shouted in response, turned around and walked back. I was followed by Uliana's screams about my pants or me being a pansy or something like that. Dot. Evening was falling, making me feel tired and empty after a day wasted with no real purpose. I came back to the square, sat down on a bench, and gave an exhausted sigh. I'd better sit here and wait for dinner. Well, after all, it's easier to search for answers when you're not hungry. You're not you when you're hungry. Have a Snickers.
Yeah, that's so true. That's
Well,
act.
I am me. I can be me when I'm hungry.
Yeah,
I
that's
just choose. I just choose to be me all the time, even if I'm hungry.
sometimes it's hard, sometimes it isn't. I mean, to be fair, halt is a very good cornerstone of mental health where don't do things when you're hungry, angry, lonely, tired, or at least major things.
Don't do things when I'm tired. That basically invalidates every single visual novel playthrough we've done
On
because
your
of the. Haven't we done multiple where it's been like minimum 2 a.m. my time when we start recordings?
yep.
And my mind is melting by like the 4 hour mark of recording visual novels. The Everlasting Summer and
Seduce me.
yeah, that was a wacky time.
Yeah, that really was.
They do give food. They do give food to the people here, right? It's, Tungsten Cube is just getting larger and larger as time goes on.
Yeah.
It's curious how the simplest human needs can break the will to ponder on things, to strive for something.
It's probably gonna be like mecha levels at the end of this playthrough.
Deus Ex Machina. For example, I feel hungry now, so I care much less about where I am or what's happening to me. Could great people also be affected by this? And in that case, how did Spartacus start the slave uprising in ancient times? I can only conclude that I am not a great person, and it does not really matter which mechanism I serve as a geared society, the Matrix, or a weird pioneer camp. The Matrix is this man from Shooter.
Damn, bro.
The Matrix is gonna get you.
He's just a really dense Andrew Tate.
My thoughts got interrupted by the sound of bells chiming from a loudspeaker on a light pole. It must be the dinner call. I headed towards the canteen. It was a good thing I knew where it was. Olga was standing there on the porch. I stopped and looked closely at her as if I were expecting something. She looked back for a while, but at last came closer.
Semyon, what are you waiting for? Come in already.
I guess nothing bad can happen if I go with her. Nothing bad would have happened if you went in on your own.
Yeah.
My stomach backed me up here. The two of us went inside. The canteen looked like a canteen. I had a chance to visit a factory canteen at some point in my life. This one was exactly the same, just maybe a bit cleaner and more modern. Metal chairs and tables, glazed tiles on the walls and floor, unsophisticated tableware with the occasional crack. Guess that's what a canteen in a pioneer camp is supposed to look like.
Semyon, wait a moment. We'll find you a place to sit.
I see Miku in the background.
Me too.
She looked. She looked around the place.
Deves.
The
Lisa, hold it right there. Yeah, I'm not gonna deal with that.
We will not say last name. Olga shouted at Alyssa, who was passing by.
What? What's up with your clothes? Anything wrong with them?
Indeed, her attire looked somewhat provocative.
Get your uniform nice and neat right now. Alright, alright.
Alyssa got her shirt right and walked past, shooting an unpleasant glare at me.
So, where can we find you a place to sit?
There weren't a lot of seats.
Go over there, next to Uliana.
It's Jova. Maybe I.
It's Jover for him.
It's Jova.
Yeah, it's fine. The food's already on the table, too.
I had no other choice but to accept. Of course, there was a probability the cutlets were already poisoned with curare, the mashed
Curare?
potatoes generously seasoned with arsenic, and the glass filled with excellent antifreeze instead of compote.
Man.
But it all looked so tasty that I had no chance to resist.
Hey!
What do you want? I replied rather rudely to Uliana, who was sitting next to me.
Why didn't you play football with us?
Because of my clothes, I said, pointing at the source of the problem.
Oh, alright then. Eat.
Eat. However, there wasn't much left to eat. My cutlet was missing from the plate. Only she could have done it. No, more precisely, none but Liana could have done it. Give me back my cutlet.
In a big family, you snooze, you'll lose. It can cost you a cutlet if you're careless.
Give it back, I'm telling you. Do not attempt to take.
You know what? Yeah, let's just let her have it.
Be the bigger man.
See? I don't have it.
And indeed, Uliana's plate was empty. It seemed the little girl eats as fast as she steals someone's cutlets.
Take it easy. We'll work out something now.
She grabbed my plate and ran off. There was no point in following her if they wanted to poison me here. They could have just done it in a much easier way. About a minute later, Uliana returned and handed me a plate with a steaming hot cut on it. Certainly nothing is going on here. There is certainly not going to be an issue with this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a totally normal plate.
Yeah, nothing going wrong here.
Here's one for the starving.
Thanks. That's a lot of fucking mash.
That's a lot of potatoes, yeah.
That's a load of mash.
A lot of potatoes.
I also like the salt and pepper shakers they have here.
Those are really nice salt and pepper shakers. I would unironically own those.
Yeah, we have the mini thing. It was all I could say. I was so hungry that my suspicions were gone in a flash. Suspicious? I was so hungry. I picked up the cutlet with my fork and... What the? Some bug. Yeah, it's totally average. Totally average.
Average meal.
No, not a bug. An insect. Yeah, it's astute. You're very astute, Semyon.
Yes.
It's got legs and it's wiggling.
We have eyes.
We
eyes.
have vision. The plate fell to the floor and broke into pieces. The chair hit me hard on my leg while falling. I've disliked insects since I was a child. When these creepy crawls appear on my plate, that's just way too much. You little... Liana seemed ready for such a twist and was already at the door laughing, as if she had had a fresh stand-up comedy joke. I dashed after her. We ran out of the canteen. We were just a few dozen meters apart, and I felt I could catch up to this girl easy. We ran through the square. Past the club's house. And ran onto the forest path. I started to gasp for breath. I should have quit smoking, I guess. Uliana passed me at the sight of the next turn. It can't be true that she managed to get away from me. I will now probably get going. Cause I need to get some fucking breakfast.
I mean, this is a fast little girl. What do you expect?
Yeah, I'm good. So yeah, I'm gonna. I think we should end it here for today because, good lord, I need something to eat.